Yolanda here for SaveSnuffles101, an online web series on humane education. I call it Save Snuffles for two reasons. One, for my favorite character from Harry Potter, Sirius Black. And when he was in hiding, he could, spoiler alert, change into a dog, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione would talk to him in secrecy, and they would refer to him as Snuffles. The second reason is that I, of course, want to save all the Snuffleses of the world. So alas, Save Snuffles was born. The goal of Save Snuffles 101 is to challenge communities to engage in the ideals of humane education and elevate the conversation of animal welfare and wildlife conservation. My mission is to make their voices louder. So what is humane education? Humane education really just challenges people to accept and fulfill the responsibility to care for all living things. A good humane education program is going to encourage people to adopt the virtues of empathy, kindness, respect, and understanding, not just for living things, but for other people as well. It really is an up-and-coming thing for curriculum these days. A lot of schools, organizations, and clubs are seeing the value in incorporating a program like this. Humane education gets to the root of animal cruelty and animal abuse. Research has shown that animals are sentient beings. What that means is they feel things just like you and me. They feel happiness. You can see that when they're excited to play with you, their tail waggles, they're barking playfully, they're jumping up on you when you come home from work or from school. They experience fear. You see that if they're cowering, if their little tail tucks between their legs, if they're running away from something. They experience sadness. You can see this if they lose their appetite, if they're moping around, just like you and me might if we're feeling sad. They feel anxiety. When you leave sometimes they cry, they bark, they whine because they want to see you. These are all things that you can relate to. You experience these things and so do animals. By understanding that and engaging in that, you're developing a very important social skill, empathy. Empathy is the idea of putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, understanding what they're going through, understanding that while you aren't experiencing the situation they're in, you can understand how that would make you feel as well. Building off of that skill of empathy makes you a more ethically responsible person. And what that means is, for someone who may not understand that, is that it's making you a better person. It's treating others how you want to be treated. And like I said, it doesn't have to be just for animals, just for the environment, but it bridges to treating people the same way, treating your classmates, your friends the same way. You see, if I'm caring for an animal this way, I should be caring for people this way as well. And when people become more empathetic and think more ethically, you build a more compassionate society. And that's what we always want to say. We're always looking to have this world peace, this peaceful society that we're living in, and humane education strives to make that type of society. But it does start at respect, and it starts at respect for all living things, and so humane education focuses on respecting animals and the environment. So humane education typically targets children. It's something that they want to instill in them when they're young so that they can grow up as having that respect for all living things, so it becomes inherently a part of who they are. That's why schools are starting to adopt it in their curriculum. Organizations are starting to have little sessions for their communities. Clubs, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts might have these kinds of things so that they could have these tools from a very young age. So throughout this series, I'm going to have that in the back of my mind, that I'm trying to reach children. So I encourage you to watch this with your children or watch this with your club or whoever to try to challenge them to become more humane and become more ethical. But that does not mean that anybody of any age can't learn something. This is something that I'm just starting to learn too within the past year, and I can see the immense value of it. So anybody of any age can get something out of humane education. So I have a lot of ideas already for what I'd like to include in this series, but I'm always open to new suggestions, so please leave in the comment sections things you would like to see me discuss. Some ideas I have already are how to choose the right pet for your family and for your situation, how to approach a dog or a cat, what kind of body language are they signaling to you, are they happy, are they friendly, or are they scared and nervous, the ideas of wildlife conservation, what can you do to help, introducing you to different kinds of animals besides the typical companion animals that you think of. So exotic animals, farm animals, the idea of pet overpopulation. Why is it important to spay and neuter your pets? What is an animal shelter? How is it important, and what can you do to help your local animal shelter? And the ideas of adopt, don't shop. But again, I'm always open to suggestions, so please leave in the comment section anything you think is important that you would like to see me discuss. Maybe something particular is going on in your community that may not be going in the community next door. So there's a lot of different areas that can be covered under humane education and teaching the community. And of course, with everything, if you liked it, please like and subscribe and share the video so that others can get the message of humane education and why it is important.